Are we on the internet?
We are.
Are we on the internet?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Pauperformance.
Welcome to Pauperformance. Finally.
Finally, I'm very
Finally.
excited to share this project with you guys. We have been working hard for more than a year.
Yeah, you mostly.
So first, let's double check everything is alright, is online and working. If you notice anything weird with audio and video, just let us know. We know there is some blinking on our
Yes.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Shoulders.
Shimmering.
Some shimmering. We still have to master all the Twitch
Yes.
features,
Yes.
all the tools, green screen, and so on.
That's a good idea. I think I will just join on my phone.
Just double check everything is
Just-
alright.
Yeah, exactly.
According to OBS, we are streaming correctly.
Yeah. Just
So
according to OBS, but we
we
can't trust it too much, right? So
let's just wait a couple of minutes and then we can actually start.
yes. Perfect.
Looks like we're online.
Yeah, it looks like we are online. I will keep this one here. We have just a slightest delay, but it's fine. I think I can.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just want to check the chat room. Like
We have
small
3
stuff
viewers.
like that. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
So maybe we can start with some presentations, right?
Yes. Let's start.
Go first.
Should I go first? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm Mirko. I'm from Italy, and at the moment I'm currently living in Germany. And well, I'm a Pauper enthusiast, and I really love this format. I teach the Vito how to play Magic a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yes.
And then we started immediately playing Pauper as our main format because it was
cheap.
affordable. Yeah, exactly. It was cheap. And yeah, then we felt in love.
It's
with
also
the format.
easy to play because it's a more constrained set of rules.
Yes.
So you don't need to learn all
Exactly.
the details.
You just need, like a bunch of cards. You can almost play with any brews just for fun. And then yeah, we felt in love with the format, and at some point we said something like, "There's still something missing in the community. There's still some information missing. Maybe I'm looking for a online list and they can't find anything. So why not try doing it by ourselves?" And here we are. You?
So my name is Gianvito. I'm a computer scientist. I live in Amsterdam. So we both live abroad, but we are together just spending a weekend just enjoying the beautiful Dutch weather.
Yes, and also starting to performance. Like
Yeah,
this also was another goal. Yeah.
It was just an excuse to do something together. So I've been thinking about this project for more than a year. So it all started with the idea of streaming some Magic games online, MTGO,
mostly MTGO.
and then the project kind of evolved, and I think it did it in an interesting way. So both because it switched from being a one-man project to a two-man project with Mirko, which is much more fun and interesting, and also because we thought about something more than just a gameplay channel.
Yes.
And basically we started collecting ideas with other Pauper friends and players. What kind of resources were usually missing online?
Exactly.
What were the usual struggles new players were facing while approaching the game and the format? So we decided to do something and try to give back to the community.
Exactly.
So yeah, here we are with Pauperformance, which is this our project. So yeah, we are doing this just for the fun of doing something together. I was personally missing playing with Mirko a lot. We used to play every day when we were studying together.
Yeah, almost
Italy.
every day.
And and after you grow up and you take different paths in your life.
You start playing other formats, things like that.
No, I never.
That's only me, maybe.
Yeah, so here we are. Maybe we can take the chance of this live stream just to make some chats, describe the project, also for people that will see this video in the future.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Want to say add something else, or shall we start with the project?
No, I think we can start with the project, and maybe you can describe. I will read the chat as much as I can, and of course, at any point, if you want to ask a question, interact with us, we are here just to answer you and clarify, maybe also like any kind of doubt that you can have about this. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's
start
it. Yeah.
All right. So Pauperformance is a project about Pauper, which we call Pauper in Italy.
Pauper,
In
yes.
fact, sometimes
we are butchering. Yeah, okay, but come on, we are Italians.
Yeah.
Our accent is still very strong, and we will butcher a lot of English. Yeah, we this is Pauper.
Forgive us if you will sometimes hear Pauperformance, but it's our nature.
Yes.
We will try to be as international as possible.
Yeah.
We used to play and record videos in Italian.
Yes.
Mirko has kinda somehow convinced me to try with the English.
Yeah. So maybe we are not as funny as we are.
Yeah. So this is my main concern, because he's a very kind and funny guy, but I don't know how he will
perform in English. I don't know.
It's gonna be a challenge, but we'll see. So yeah, back to the project.
Yes, back to the project.
So Pauperformance is a project that is Grazie Alessandro.
Grazie.
Ciao Ale, ciao Ale. So it's a project that consists of two parts. There is the Academy, which is a kind of online encyclopedia, just like Wikipedia somehow. And then there is the Battlefield, which is our streaming channel.
Yes.
And there are two different parts of the project, somehow tied and linked together. So the Academy is the place for new players and experienced players to get information about the format. So for new players, it usually means discovering which archetypes are played, what are their win conditions, yes. Where you can read and maybe watch some gameplays.
Also like where to find articles, where to find deck text, sideboard guides.
Yeah.
Everything that a new player, or at least like someone that is interested in playing something that maybe also is not used to play, can also find like very useful information.
Right.
And that I think is our main goal, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's there is Pauper is not a super popular format, so there is scarcity of information.
Absolutely.
Online. But at the same time, the plan is also to support more experienced players, and this is possible by collecting and organizing more information, and that comes probably from online tournaments.
Online and offline tournaments.
So analysis on data,
yes.
Matchup, sideboard guides. So this is the kind of things that usually other popular platforms
don't provide.
Do not provide. So for example, if a new player wants to start playing Stompy, for example, he can go to MTG Goldfish, net deck some list, but it will not be able to find also more information how to actually play the deck. Yeah,
also like you will probably look at a couple of lists, maybe not knowing what was used to play in the deck. Maybe there was something different before.
Yeah.
And when the meta game shifts, maybe some of the old cards can become again, interesting to play. Or, for example, something like at the moment, some people like me like to play with Biograph, for example. Other people like to play with Silana and the enchantment package, for example.
Yeah.
So things like that, like providing more information, like a complete, or at the most as we can, guide to any archetype that we collected as far. Yeah.
Sure. And then there is also we noticed a kind of recurring pattern of players that play Pauper for a while and then they stop doing it for different reasons. Maybe they try different format, maybe they do not play Magic for a while. Exactly. So then they come back, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know how the format or some decks have evolved.
Yeah.
So we are also trying to fill that gap where someone has been away for a while, wants to come back and get up to date very quickly. So yeah, there are two I think main characteristics of the academy. Is Astrolabe.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
we
I think
think
it was
so.
a broken card. It deserved
Yeah, but
the hammer.
if you want, you can find it actually in our format timeline, exactly the
Yeah,
pinpoint,
right.
and it will actually show you the article in which they were saying why and the reason Astrolabe is banned.
So let me check. Yeah.
So this is really cool. October 21st, 2019. You see, we have also the reference to the original
Yeah, maybe we can
Wizard of the
also,
Coast article. Yes.
I would be curious to know.
Why? Yeah, we can read from there. Yeah.
Okay,
See,
so 25% of the meta was playing
with a win rate greater than 55%. So yeah.
Astrolabe was
Sorry.
was a really controversial card.
But yes, exactly. Too much time for that.
Let's forget about Astrolabe for a moment. So yeah, there is a major interest in the academy about the historical perspective of the format. So this is something that other websites also do not usually provide. To need to update the deck.
Yeah.
So a lot of websites just give a snapshot of how the meta looks like in the present,
exactly.
right? So they do not give players any information on how the deck has changed with the addition of new cards. So Pauperformance will also try to address this kind of gray area or luck.
Yeah, let's say like gray
and
areas.
we hope to do it in a very clever way. So we thought about this for a lot, and we have strong reason to name decks in a certain way, and we will later show you why. So just let's spend a couple of words also for the other part of the project, which is the
battlefield.
The battlefield. So it's gonna be very similar to other usual channels like YouTube channels. So with a lot of gameplays. I think our the things we will try to do slightly different is to probably try to play less known archetypes or lesser known cards, because we would like to have a wide coverage of the metagame.
Yeah.
So we're not interested in in being pro players, like playing just tier 1 deck and be super competitive. We think there are a lot of very interesting decks that do not see a lot of play just because they are not super competitive at the moment, but they still deserve some space.
Some space, some more information.
Yeah,
another thing that you didn't mention before was like on MTG Goldfish, it's easy to find like the most played decks. But for example, like less known archetypes as Golgari Tortex or all of its variation that I really love it. I'm a big fan of Tortured Existence archetype. It's kind of hard to find also because MTGO is not the like most easy platform, user-friendly platform to play that kind of deck that requires a lot of clicks and interactions, and sometimes the timer is against you. So like another idea is not only play test this kind of not unpopular but like less played decks, but also like try to collect as much as we can on that, because a lot of people maybe are just like interested into brewing new stuff, or like at least like trying this kind of tier say like 2-3 decks that are maybe less played but still very funny to play.
Yes, sure. So at the moment we basically link existing online content to the academy. All the most popular decks will be immediately very rich of resources. So we will have a lot of gameplays and videos that we can share, but other decks will not.
But we can provide.
We will start basically from those decks,
providing the content for the decks that maybe are harder to find on the internet.
So this is basically just a little message for those of you that would like to see more games of a specific archetype. Just let us know. We will be very happy to play.
we were like like kidding before, saying something like, oh, we can set a goal like do 5-0 Pauper League using like an unplayed deck, something like that. But maybe that's a really hard goal
It's
for
gonna be
some
tough.
of them. Yeah, it's gonna be really tough. But we can still have fun. We can, like still play and try new ideas. That's for sure.
5-0 with acid
Acid trip.
acid
Yeah,
trip or
that's like it would be probably
yeah.
really
Let
hard.
me just
Yeah.
very quickly have a look at some unplayable deck. Wait a moment. Is my Chrome dying?
Yes, it's your Chrome dying.
Okay.
Acid trip is the first one.
Azorius Cowblade. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
something
kind of
like
junk.
that.
Like, in fact, just like try hard. It's not junk, but yeah.
No,
it's,
yeah, but as we are on this page,
Yeah.
you can talk about a little bit how they are generated, for example, and
All right. So the
just to show
the main difference. So in terms of let me just. So there is a big difference in how the archetypes are indexed and presented on Pauperformance with respect to what you usually see with tempted goldfish. So
thank you,
let me just,
thank you very much.
I will just move here for a moment so that you can all see.
Yeah, that's Nicola.
It's
Yeah,
Nicola, Janik.
Nico.
So the main difference about Pauperformance is that all these archetypes are handcrafted. So
Yes.
there is some knowledge about players, about what decks are played or used to be played. While, as you know, if you are familiar with, for example, MTG Goldfish, you know that there are going to be some classification errors.
exactly.
So sometimes decks have names that do not really mean anything. So we can just very quickly have a look at what's in the front page right now. Yeah, so UBR says nothing about this list.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably affinity.
Like some kind of affinity, yes.
Yeah. So this is basically the main issue with MTG Goldfish. It's not clear what kind of deck is this. It was from this event, but there is no actual tagging. The card breakdown is really good. This is something we want to also have in Pauperformance. There is a draft of this feature. It requires more lists to be indexed, and then it's gonna be just like this.
Just like that, yeah.
But yeah, so the main difference is this one. We have a curated list of archetypes, and for each archetype, of course, there are all the most important information. A couple of archetypes are somehow complete. So, for example, let's pick up Stompy. You will find the alias, what kind of mana is usually played, a description, which is good to also try to grasp, how the deck has
the philosophy of the deck. Let's say just like
staples, just like
staples.
This is similar to
and the frequent cards.
Play. And these are some decks we have uploaded. We're going to grab more decks from pro players, MTG, Goldfish event results. Pauper challenges, something that is meaningful. And then there are resources. I'm sorry for the lack of Unicode support on my browser. There is something weird, but yeah. So these are, for example, some online articles you can read about Stompy. So this is basically the starting page. So with time, we are going to link here additional resources and material. So we expect to have here the sideboard guide. So how Stompy usually plays sideboards again. Other
indexed leaks or videos about Stompy playing.
Yes.
Matchups, maybe.
Pointers to YouTube and Twitch for other games.
Yes.
Not necessarily, or on average, it's gonna be other players that have played
probably more like content from other players than us.
Someone wants to learn how to play Stompy, can just go here. There is a reference. There's going to be a reference deck list. So an up-to-date list that you can just start using, or maybe you want to build a battle box. This is quite a common question we see on Reddit. I want to build a battle box with 2 or 3 decks.
That
what do you
maybe
recommend?
is balanced and has 5, 10 decks, 2 decks.
So we can provide very easily, some 5 or 10 decks.
And almost everything would be like generated by algorithms. So that's also one of our powerful tools that we have.
Yeah,
We can basically generate battle box, we can generate lists,
yeah,
we can compare things, and we can analyze data from events. Of course, more data we have, more precise thing we can do with the data we have.
yes. So let's.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you so much. So maybe we can talk a little bit about the naming convention, which
Exactly,
that lies
yes.
at the core of the project.
That I still have to
So,
learn.
Yeah, you still have to learn. So let's make a
2
tutorial.
years into the project.
Let's make a tutorial for Mirko. So guys, just let's have a quick overview of the website as it is right now, and maybe we
Yes.
can also discuss about
Exactly,
the
yeah.
upcoming features. So there are not many pages at the moment. So the first one is the format timeline, which so it has all the most important events of
Yeah,
of the
starting
format.
from the sanctioned and magic online.
Yes.
At the moment, we only have that. Maybe we were speaking on Facebook a couple of hours ago. It would be really, really interesting to have some, maybe even like article or like deck list coming from a previous time. So like coming from like the really early beginning of the format, and or maybe just like speaking with someone that's played Pauper even before it was an actual thing. That would be like
So
really
this
cool
is
to
where I
have.
started playing Magic. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Cloud of Fairies
Was banned.
was played. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
I faced these cards
Yes.
against
I
Gabriela,
played Pauper with Call
but
of Fairies,
I
yes.
never played, for example, with Treasure Cruise. This was
I
already
did,
banned.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything for me, everything before 2016
Yeah,
is
yeah,
completely unknown.
Yeah.
So, for example, I didn't know that cranial plating was actually the first and
Yes.
only card banned when
Banned,
the format was created. So to me, it was also interesting, learning all the history behind the format. So yeah, if you notice any major event is missing, just let us know. We are setting up a Discord server.
Exactly. At the moment, it's quite empty, but we will try to have
Maybe we
it
can just
as lively as it can in a couple of days.
So let me
just open the Discord from your.
Yeah, just a moment. So we can let's take the chance to share the Discord channel as well.
Yeah, we can type it in the chat.
So feel free to join us on Discord. This is the link. I'm gonna share it in the chat.
Why?
Would be cool for new starters to have a button to automatically generate and download the PDF file with proxies from the reference tech list. So this is actually something
Yes.
I'm gonna show you right now. So the cool thing about the academy is that every deck you see here. So it's not maybe exactly what you're asking for, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you something. So let's just pick up a random affinity deck. So all the decks in the academy are automatically uploaded to MTG
Also, it
Goldfish.
cannot be seen from the video at the moment, but there is also a legality check. Maybe you want to show that. You can move us like on the left as before.
Yeah, just a moment.
Or on top, yeah.
So here we have a nice ban hammer. All right, so yeah, you can actually click on the deck you're interested in proxying, and since there is a page on MTG Goldfish, yes, you can already from the I'm gonna zoom here, print proxies. So you can actually choose your format, for example A4, submit, you get a PDF, you're ready to go. So this is the new fancy way.
The fancy way to show
MTG
proxies,
Goldfish
yeah.
has.
And
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
are really, really easy to read. And I lately only proxying in this way because they are super easy to read. There's everything on the card, and you are saving some ink in the end.
All right.
So that's cool.
So that is already possible.
That can be done. Yeah.
So yeah, back to Discord. Why do I have to log in?
Because you have to create an account. You have to or either log in with your own personal account.
Just let me, because sorry guys, this is my other host. It's freezing Windows. Let me see here.
Or you can just do that.
So this is our Discord server. Feel free to join us. I see. We have some new.
New arrival. Nice.
Oops. I greeted it twice. Let me say. So I'm also very new to Discord. Um, Please be patient with us. If you have experience with communities online, just
Let us know
let
if
us
you want to
know.
help.
Yeah.
Any help is really, really appreciated right now. So everything's works, right?
Okay, so if you have an idea or you're aware of missing events
Exactly.
on the Pauper timeline, you can just go here in the feedback channel, just drop a message. We'll be very happy to
Read
update
it,
the
pin it, and
page.
then update the
A
page.
Reddit user
Yes.
recommended us to put them the other way around. We're gonna do it this week. So just to let you know, we
Yeah.
plan to, in case you have not read the the Reddit announcement or you missed this, we're going to post a bi-weekly update
Yep.
on Reddit and our channels everywhere. It's going to be very compact. We will try to make a kind of changelog for those of you who are familiar with the IT and apps.
Yes.
So just a very quick list of all the new features that have been implemented, what we still have to do. We will try to also
Follow the roadmap.
follow our
Yes.
roadmap. So we have this Trello board. You can see that there are some tasks which are for us. Other that the community is welcome to join us.
Yes, this will be like a public Trello board, so you can see what is like the new goal in the roadmap or like the new steps, and especially in community, this is something that is actually like really helpful if you can send us some links, or as you see here, double checking the Pauper pool page, or double checking the expand format on timeline in the page, like everything that can be double checked, or any help that you can give, like you can send us a message.
Yeah, you can see here that
Discord, yes.
the other major tasks we I think some users will be very pissed by me moving around our
Yes.
faces.
Yes, but
Yeah, sorry
okay.
guys.
Sorry guys.
The usual format is different. This is just a special
It's
special
like
video.
special event.
Because we in the MTGO and interface we usually have our face in a corner. We just focus on the screen.
Yeah,
but here
we have
different
two
websites.
cameras because I'm streaming from
Yes.
my place in Germany. You're streaming from here, and yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Right. So basically, these are the tasks we would like the community to help us to begin with. There are going to be many more other things to do. So the most important one is to, of course, check if there are archetypes missing, and for those missing and the existing one, just write a short informative description for new players. So we wrote a couple of descriptions there just to give a sort of guideline.
Yeah.
So you will find, for example, it for Burn and Stompy, but there are many other descriptions to write. Some of these decks do not exist anymore, but from the academy point of view, this is not really relevant. We plan to index every deck, even if it is not playable anymore. For example, due to a ban. So this is something really nice to help with. We would be really grateful for any help. And then there is going to be some resource.
Also another thing, like if you have any article in any language, just share it with us. We will be very grateful for that, because another like point in the project is the material. Like we want to also provide material in other languages, like even videos, articles, everything. So don't be afraid of sharing something. Say like, I don't know, like it's in Spanish or is in Italian, something like that. Just share it, and we will gladly add it.
Yeah. So on Discord, we have in the feedback channel here this message, the pin about this Google form. So it's a very simple Google form in case you just want to also bulk update links. You can use this or just drop a message, whatever you prefer. So here we can just we're seeing screenshots from friends.
Yes.
You can just paste here your links. We will take care of properly indexing them
Who do you think he is, this man that is writing, that wrote this like very long question?
Ciao, Stefan. So you can share here your links. We will index them with the author, date, language, blah blah blah, and they will just appear in a nice way here in the wiki, just as it is the case right now with all these articles. So do not worry about this part. We're gonna take care of that. So yeah, let's go back to the naming convention. So back to the tutorial.
Yes.
Time for Mirko to
learn,
study
finally,
and learn
maybe.
something.
Yeah.
So there is a reason why we are indexing DEX with this very peculiar naming convention. And the reason is that by simply naming DEX in a particular way, which we are going to show you now, our system, so the bot that is behind Pauperformance.
If you reduce, like, rescale our face a little bit,
yes,
we can be shown.
Yeah,
We can still be shown, and people can read. That's amazing. Yes, let's leave it like that.
Okay, so there are many interesting things.
I'm sorry, guys.
Or look at this. Move to the right.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay.
So yeah, there are many things that the bot, the tool that we use to automatically generate the website.
Thank you for the following.
I know this guy. This is from the Dutch community.
Nice.
We need more tabs open, man. I have an issue with tabs, and I'm gonna tell you something. Just before live streaming, I closed some 20 or 30 tabs. I also created a lot of bookmarks. So you have to be grateful for what you have right now. So yeah, let's back to the naming scheme. So by just naming DEX in a particular way, our bot will be able to perform a lot of analysis and interesting comparisons, and it will also be able to crawl information from the web and correctly tag and link, resources to archetypes and so on. So just let's have a look at how the naming convention works for DEX. I can already tell you that so if online Pauper creators want to adhere to this naming scheme, that will be really appreciated. It will just simplify a lot of things. But we are also already working on a mechanism to collect DEX, organize them, and catalog, and automatically name them according to these naming conventions. Exactly. So that people do not need to remember it or periodically check the website to see what's going on. But yeah, suppose you have in principle no problem with naming DEX in this way. Yeah, every deck is going to be uniquely identified by a combination of 4 elements. So the archetype name, which is it's just the one you see here in the index of archetypes. So there's going to be Boggles or Barn, and of course we are going to also support aliases. So you can also call your deck Aura X-Proof, which is the other popular name for Boggles. Then the other item is the magic set ID, and this is very important because it will be the way for the bot to understand at which point in time that deck was created. And when you have an idea of every deck and where it is, so where is its place in the history of the format, you can then analyze how things have evolved over time.
Exactly.
So the magic set ID, we will come to this later, but it's just the way for the bot to understand the point in time.
Point in time in which that deck was originally created.
Then there is the revision ID, because of course a player may have multiple deck lists of the same deck archetype in the same expansion.
And especially this is rather important for content creators, because we will follow, like, content creators maybe brewing new lists and I don't know, even defining a new archetype. So like they define a new archetype, they brew a list, we have their deck code, and we can also take and tracks how this deck evolved in games and for like a span of time. So
it's really common
it's
for
common,
a
yeah,
streamer to
exactly,
just
yeah.
try a deck, and then next week there's
Some
still the
changes,
same
yes, yeah.
pool of cards in theory available, but there is a difference.
Maybe some difference, yeah.
You switch a couple of cards, so this is good to track
On the
that
sideboard,
kind of
in the main
change.
board, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then the player ID, of course, is the basically MTG
The name of the player, yes.
Yes. So, for example, let's suppose this guy wants to create an affinity deck. The current Magic set ID is 676. We're going to see how this deck is how this item is number is produced. Yeah, as simple as this. This is his name, and as you can see, these are uniquely identify this deck in the history of the game. It was created by this user, wanted to play Affinity. It was his first revision during Modern Horizon 2.
Yeah.
And then maybe the second revision is what he changes a couple of cards. It's gonna be 002. So the crucial part is this Magic set ID. Now, in order to compute the set ID, we are basically resorting to Scryfall API, which is basically the most reliable source of information we have online.
To indexing things, yes.
To index set. So I personally don't even know exactly how the history of the card game is, like of Magic, but I mean, I completely trust Scryfall guys.
Thanks, Scryfall guys.
Thanks.
If for some reason you end up here, just
thanks.
Thanks.
If you're watching this video, you did a very good job, and and thanks especially for your API. That is awesome. I can't believe you don't need authentication. I mean, bravi.
Chef kiss.
Bravi. Okay, so back to the Scryfall API. Yes. So according to Scryfall people, the the history of Magic is long and complicated. So for this reason, Scryfall includes many unofficial sets and promotional cards. There is a question.
Here's a question. Yes. So what's the benefit of your bot versus example like MTG Goldfish, which automatically creates the meta share?
They are two different things. So the meta share can be also computed by our bot, and it's going to be actually the same if the two bots use the same input data, so the same number, the same basically events. But we are not interested in collecting as many tournament results as MTG Goldfish.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, it would be very naive for us to think that at some point people will just stop uploading results to MTG Goldfish and do it on Pauperformance. We do not want to do that. So the only difference is that, I mean, there are some differences. The first one is that we do not want to be a data collecting platform.
Yes.
And also the meta share you see on MTG Goldfish is just computed on online results, but the only people that can actually know how things are from Wizard. So yeah, if anyone from the Pauper format panel is watching this video, yeah, that would be very nice if you could find a way to share some data about Pauper. It would be, I know it's very, data is power, blah blah blah. It's very important for them to keep this data. But even a processed version of this data that is periodically shared, for example, with the results about what is going on, that would be great. So yeah, the main difference is that the Pauperformance website will be able to tell you more precisely what kind of decks are actually played, like references lists. So if you just open MTG Goldfish, you may just pick not a random deck, but you just go to Burn, you pick up a deck list, and you don't know if that is like good or not. So the difference here is that these the lists you will see are like hand curated. So it's from people that have a reputation in the Pauper panorama.
The Pauper panorama, Pauper community, yes. And also another benefit of that I think is so yeah, the meta share is probably will be like really similar to the one seen in MTG Goldfish, but also we have to take into account that MTG Goldfish counts like the appearance of decks without really like pinpointing like the size of the event, pinpointing, for example, like
How they perform
some
in the
yeah how they perform in the event,
So
and
the meta share is just how often they're played, but it
yeah,
doesn't tell you anything
exactly.
about specifically about results,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So this is something we will address. So I don't want to give you too many details now. It's something in our roadmap. We actually have already a concept like a
yes,
proof
exactly.
of
A
concept.
proof of concept, yes.
But yeah, it's we want to do something more than just saying that this deck is played by 45% of players.
Players.
It will be interesting to know how it
Yeah.
performs, and if someone wins a tournament of 250 people with a deck. So yeah, I remember, for example, Atok Shift in
Yes,
in the Italian Pauper Gathering. I think it was 2020. So that deck was not really popular, but still it won
a
a very
big
large
tournament. Yeah, very
tournament.
large
So that
tournament.
must
Yeah.
mean something, right? So the meta share can be very very little, but yeah, it's
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe you connect it later. But one of the most important thing about Pauperformance is that it has an historical view of the format.
Exactly.
You will see. You will be able to see for each archetype how it has evolved over time. So what cards were introduced with some expansion, what cards were kicked out because maybe something better was printed. So MTG Goldfish is just a snapshot. It's like a picture of what is what's in the meta right now. But the wiki is going to be holistic. It's going to show you the entire history of the archetype.
And maybe with some time we can also provide more in-depth information about archetypes or decks. For example, like something like matchup analysis. That's something like you maybe see. Like I was addressing this problem about another format that could be like, for example, like Modern. So like in Modern, Burn is very popular because it's one of the cheapest deck that you can afford in the format. So this is not a problem for Pauper at the moment because almost every deck's paper, I would say, it's kind of cheap. Maybe online at the moment, some of them are becoming quite expensive, but yeah, like I would say, like in general, like we can't apply this to Pauper. But one of the things is like, okay, you know that like that deck is very popular, but is it really that strong, or is just like there's so much people playing it that it makes results just because there are like too much in the format. And so one thing could be like analyzing the matchup. Like analyzing the matchup, you can pinpoint like, okay, that deck sucks from the 75% of deck on the meta. So maybe it's not the strong, something like that. Like I don't want to like make a point now. Like it's not my goal.
There's a
I
lot of
want to
things
say
to do,
the
but
burn is not a good deck or something like that. But yeah.
So the most important thing is that all of this will be possible by just naming decks in the correct way. So both on our side and on the basically content creator side. We're going to explain later
Yes.
to
Thing I
to
will do
creators.
later is like, for example, like I don't know how to name, even if Gianvito explained it to me like 5 times. So at the end of the stream, I will provide to every one of you Gianvito's personal email, so you can send him decks and he can.
But it's actually very simple. I mean, we notice it's just the archetype, and there is a list on the website. There is the code, and maybe the code is the only non-trivial thing. But first, we're going to share in the homepage the current code. So I mean, whenever there is going to be a new expansion, this number will be bumped. The only non-obvious thing is that the numbers are not going to be sequential in the sense that between one expansion and the other there is not just necessarily a +1. So for example, let's see, according to Scryfall, what are the magic set. So there is a alpha, beta, but then there are also set that didn't provide any new card to the format.
Exactly. Spam. Is in a naming convention, you see the magic set ID to define times. But are often independent from set release. How does this naming convention differentiate between pre and post bans?
Yeah, so within the same set, there will be no easy way to
No, exactly.
differentiate
No.
if so you could not tell from the ID. So for example, let's see where we are right now.
That's actually a really good point.
Yes. So this is the latest expansion. I think if I regenerate
That's
index
the
now, there
latest.
is
Yes, it will
yeah.
be probably. Is it already released on Neon Dynasty? I don't. I'm not sure if they are doing it right now, like the pre-release or. Well, anyway, I think if we
Yeah,
update the bot, it will probably point as another set or that one actually. But the thing is, like, we are indexing, like the thing that you show that is shown here in bold is the one that are
actually
giving new cards,
introducing new cards to the
Yeah,
format. Yeah.
exactly.
So for example, let's say Midnight Hunt. This one is bold. There is actually a different page. I'm gonna just very quickly show you the pauper pool. So this page shows exactly for each expansion which new cards were added. So if you notice anything wrong, just let us know. This is just computed by
Exactly,
the bot.
by the bot.
So this is the incremental pool of cards. So if a card is reprinted,
Yeah.
it's not going to appear here.
Exactly. And another thing that we were discussing about this actually that is really interesting, at least for me, like sometimes happens that I'm not playing poker for a while, and for example, like I know that I lastly played poker with something I don't know, like let's say Terrace, like the second set of Terrace. Yeah. Okay, so like quite a while ago. Then my question will be like, okay, I will buy in a bulk like every common from there to like the upcoming days. Here I can find actually like the list and is uniquely identified. So even if in 3 sets, one after the other, they are reprinting the same common cards, I'm not buying it more than once, because if I just copy the list of cards here and they just put it in, I don't know, like a Magic Card Market on like import list, something like that, I will only have like individual cards, right? And another thing that maybe at some point we will try to implement when we have enough data is just saying, okay, from this set, the played card are
Yes.
these ones. So maybe instead of buying, I don't know, like 200 cards, you just end up buying 20 new cards. And you are okay, like you can then update all of your decks.
Exactly.
Right?
So you can see basically what we can do once we have deck lists is
we
that
just
we
need
can
data.
just is that next to Blood Fountain you will see it's played in Affinity. Blah, blah,
exactly.
Blah. So but yeah, let's go back to the question.
Let's go back to the question.
And thanks for the question. It's a very good one. So there are some sets which introduce new cards in the pauper format, and you're gonna see these decks. These sets in this page. So these sets are in bold in the index. So let's suppose a card is banned.
Yes.
Until a new Magic set is released and a new Pauperformance code for this set is computed, all the decks will still have the same Magic number. And this means that by just looking at the number, you will not be able to know if let's
like pre-ban or post-ban.
if it was pre-ban or post-ban. But you will there are going to be like two minor details that will help you. So the first one is that if you go in the archetype
index
page, so let's take a deck that was hit by a ban recently, you will see that you will see that there is a note here, and this is automatically updated also retroactively that this deck is now banned. So
if there are new lists on top of that, maybe with like the unbanned version of the deck, you will just see like that it's legal.
Yeah, basically once a deck is banned, like there is no way, there is no real value for us to collect more similar deck lists that are also banned. We will just try to see how the deck has evolved after the ban.
I think one of the points that is asking for is actually that is really interesting. And again, thanks for the question. I think this is like something that we can try to think about. Is like we will see then after that new decks, also other archetypes that are answering different problems, because maybe Affinity was too dominant, and so everyone was playing like a lot of artifact hate, and then after that is gone, then you will probably see least with less artifact hate. So okay, it can be actually interesting pinpointing like, okay, there was a ban here, but this can be in some way maybe mitigated when we have something like the, if we have enough data, we can also show, for example, like the trend, like how the decks not only are performing, but also something like popularity of decks. So you will see like, okay, this was the point in which the deck was like, there was a ban here. We can also like show it in time in a graph, something like that, and then you will see like popularity of archetypes going up or down, and you can say, oh, okay, then it's becoming more popular, this deck, because before maybe affinity was too strong or too dominant and it was not shining. Now is going to be like, again, another player in the top decks, and so if I want to compete, I know like maybe this deck suffer this and that, and you will probably find this information browsing around the website. Like that would be
Yeah, so back to the question, the naming convention does not differentiate between pre and post ban within the same set.
Yes.
As soon as a new set is released, then all these not also the other decks. Yes, exactly. So this is very nice. And there is also one thing I would like to mention with respect to ban, because this is actually the kind of events that really shakes the meta.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we briefly mentioned to you earlier, we are going to also compute how the, so this was also to reply to Hamzo's question. So we are going to analyze the meta, right? So it makes sense when there is a ban to reset the state.
Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to compare two meta if one is pre and the other is post ban. So imagine there are a different, there is a collection of tournament results, right? And we can use these tournament results to see what decks are played and what kind of, so which cards are popular. I don't know, you will see, for example, there was a huge spike in Dust to Dust, right? So now there is a ban. At this point, it makes sense to not mix for some kind of analysis
No, that's for sure.
pre-ban events with the post-ban events. But
unless it's like a trend analysis to see like popularity.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to have a look at how the meta is after the ban, it doesn't make sense to compute. It doesn't make sense to use so decks that are from the same set ID, but whose submission, for example, was before the ban date. So this is something that is it's possible to do because, for example, MTG Goldfish provides information. So let me see if I can quickly find a tournament. Yeah, let's.
But are you checking for a Pauper tournament? Or?
Yeah, maybe just let's filter because it's gonna be easier. There are just challenges. So here, when you open, so this is the kind of data we're going to analyze, right? The only issue is that here you cannot easily see from this ranking what actual deck were played, right? With the on Pauperformance you will, so there is going to be like affinity or just Jeskai control, something that is meaningful to us Pauper player. But here there is also the date, right? So if there is a ban at some point and you want to make some kind of analysis, you can just ignore, for example, this tournament if it was a pre-ban, basically.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Yeah, but still, like, I think also to answer that question, like to change how other decks adapted. Well, yeah, it's not easy. To say like you can still see like, for example, like here the upload date. So maybe looking like after, if the upload date is after a ban, you can of course have information how the deck evolved if something changed there. But yeah, as we are taking sets from the Scryfall API, I think it's not possible to introduce like step points, right?
No, there
like
is
having
not to
something
be
like 0.5 or things like
yeah,
that.
exactly. But I also think it doesn't make
that much
sense because the Magic releases are overall pretty frequent.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time until a new release is
Yeah,
it's distributed to
the
people.
same. Like, is the point is okay when a new release hit, usually you have also new cards introduced.
Yep.
Almost always. So the meta will change for sure.
Yes.
Like, I think the question here is like, with our tools at the moment, this is something we can't do. Is like seeing how the meta evolve between ban and the new release, like that fraction of the meta.
Yeah.
I think it can be done, but it has to be done by hand, basically, just like checking how things change. It's not something automatic that we can do automatically at the moment.
Yeah, not yet, but this is also because in general
So we should call the guys from Skyfall. So if you're following us, guys from Skyfall, just please introduce like a step set.
No, this is...
Post ban, just like on brackets, something like that.
But it's actually a good point.
Yeah.
There is also, it's also fair to say that ban overall are not this frequent. I mean,
Yeah, I know for sure.
but so it's also, it may not make too much sense to develop a super complicated
fair enough. Okay.
super complicated solution to just tackle this corner case, because we can just wait for a couple of weeks or months, and the new release is out, and then everything is just automatically updated.
Exactly.
But yeah, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your interest. So yeah, as you can imagine, there is a lot of things that to do. What we are trying, so if you want to know more about the project, just visit the FAQ page.
Yes.
At the moment, we can probably show you something that is behind the hood of what we actually have right now, and what we and why we think it's not sufficient to just with these tools we already have to reach more players. So and a lot of these limitations come from third-party website we need to interact with to collect deck lists and resources.
Yeah.
So for example, for let's say MTG Goldfish, as far as I know, there is no easy way for us developers to just grab and crawl in a programmatic way decks from users, right? So suppose a player wants to share his decks. He cannot just authorize us to read his deck list, or all these kind of things that you should be familiar with if you are working in IT. For other platforms, it is actually possible. So for example, let's take deck stats. With deck stats, there is an easy way for users to create folders, to make it public or private, each deck list. So what we already have in place is a system that can, for example, read all the deck lists in a special Pauperformance directory of your deck stats profile. Yes, so thanks for your question. Do you mean as a developer or as a user?
So for answering Tapstan, I love community developed tools. How can players who support this and
maybe I can let me share also something more about the
exactly. We have some
so everything is open source.
Yes.
The actual website is hosted on Jekyll, the GitHub template engine for static web pages. Okay, as a user or content creator.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So if you're so first of all, if you're a content creator, feel free to drop us your
channel
Twitch or your channel, whatever.
On Discord also?
So we can also take a note and come back to you in the future as soon as we are ready to collect and crawl videos and deck lists.
Yeah.
As a user, so feel free to join us on Discord, or just reach us wherever you prefer. As we were referring.
First thing first. Yeah. Of course, every content will be linked to your channel.
Yeah.
Like if you're a content creator or if you write an article, you will of course be mentioned. And we also like this project is also for helping creators in the Pauper community gets more visibility from the community itself.
Yeah.
and that I think is a really nice,
Yeah.
like community goal. So sharing is caring, right? So
Yeah, we don't want credits for
no,
your work,
exactly.
of
Like we
course.
will credit, of course,
Okay,
everything.
so let's forget for a moment the open source
Open
part,
source part,
since
yes.
the question was about user
Exactly.
and content
So
creators.
just join our Discord.
So there are basically two important things. Yeah. So if, as a user, we were sharing this in the beginning of the stream. Let's go back very quickly. So we have a roadmap of all the tasks that need to be done, and some of them are for us administrators, and some of them are for the community. So if you are like a normal user, you just want to help us going on with the project, that is like super important for us. So this board is publicly available. It's linked on Reddit. I'm gonna drop a link now in the chat. So here you can find a number of tasks. There are some of them which are just double checking what we have done so far, because maybe we were wrong, maybe we forgot something. It will be nice to get some feedback from you on this. And then there is like the crucial part, for us to start is to have a coverage of archetypes, existing and old archetypes, because we may have missed some of them. So if you have a look at the archetype index and you notice that something is missing, just let us know. So here there may be missing decks. And then the second step is to write short, informative descriptions for each of these archetypes. So we just brought a couple of them as a guideline. So you will see, for example, that there is one for Stompy, and there is one for Burn.
Exactly.
We need to write a description for every other deck.
Yeah, and also if you find that the description is not actually accurate and you want to improve that, or just saying, okay, maybe mention this because like this is very peculiar of this deck and it makes it like really different from, I don't know, like Red Deck Wins, something like that. Just like in our Discord channel, you can find the link to our Discord here. I think maybe in the description of this on the Twitch channel. I'm not sure. Maybe I think it's could be there already.
I'm gonna share again, but yeah,
yes,
everything.
But could be like easily found. And in the feedback channel, you can just drop there everything, and we will save it and work on it, of course. So it could either be an article, it could either be like something like, oh guys, maybe for, I don't know, like Burn description, it can like given in this way, something like thank you. Or I don't know, like I'm a content creator, I want to share my content. Like if you want, I have like this video in which I'm playing with this and that, and you can just share it. And
yeah, so for example, primers are super important because they are incredibly helpful for new players.
Yeah, both new and seasoned players. Also.
Yeah,
like I love to read primers.
Yeah, but this is basically the first thing a new player will see.
Yeah,
exactly. Check, right? Yeah. Like, okay, what is zombie? How does it win? What's the idea behind it?
Tapping, swinging with creatures,
with no mercy. Yeah, but so yeah, we need this at the moment. There are going to be many other things in the future. We will have time later, but yeah, let's start. There are many things we can do all together. Yeah. We need to start, one step at a time. So yes, everything is open source. We are going to make it clear for people and developers in the future on how to contribute. So yeah, basically on GitHub you can find publicly a couple of repositories. The first one is actually the website itself. A number of these web pages are automatically generated. So this is something that we are aware it's not very user friendly.
Yeah, so it's not also very appealing, the UI of the website at the moment, because we are generating it through GitHub, right?
Yeah, but we are also focusing more on content than UI, to be honest. So at some point maybe we will just
ask someone, or maybe someone in the community that is a web developer and was like, okay guys, I would like to help you in developing a website. Yeah, so it will be like really crazy and nice. Yes.
We have the first repository for the academy itself, the website, and the second is our bot that does all the magic.
All the magic.
So a number of these pages are automatically generated, and this is why basically here we have to use Discord as a platform to
Yes.
gather feedback.
Yes.
Because on Wikipedia you will just go and edit the page, right? But these pages are automatically generated. So basically, if you make a direct change to the code, for example, that of the academy, that page will be basically refreshed, regenerated, and that change will be lost.
Yeah.
So basically, here it's the difference between
Exactly.
other platforms.
Also,
and
because
ours,
this
right?
automatization allows us, for example, like to automatically pin decks that contains banned cards.
Yeah, exactly.
And or I don't know, like making differences in archetypes, are not archiving them, but at least like indexing them in the right way and so on and so forth.
Okay, so let's go back to
Yes.
deck stats. We left it there. So yeah, I'm gonna share with you what we have right now and how and why we would like to
Exactly.
improve it. So here you will see there is so this is the Pauperformance page, deck stats. There are a number of decks that have been already indexed according to the naming scheme we described earlier. Yeah, basically Pauperformance is the only deck stats user that is allowed to upload decks for other users. So this is why here you see, for example, the name of other streamers.
Yes.
Because we are the only one. So this special account is the only one able to do it. But in general, a user will just upload his deck lists without the final name, and the platform, the bot is able to read and link,
save it there, and
yeah,
and so on. Yes.
So it's very simple. The bot periodically checks for all the deck stats accounts that we included in our collection of
exactly.
Trustworthy players. It checks for new decks, and if there is something new, this deck is then uploaded to MTG Goldfish automatically, and it automatically appears in the academy here in the website. Sorry, I moved this one a little bit.
Oh, you're still seeing some shimmering?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I moved it.
It's okay.
So why not deck stats, or why deck stats is not enough? So first of all, because it's not the most popular platform, exactly. Right? And also because we want to make it easier for people like the trustworthy one, like the players. We call them
PhDs, yes.
Pauper honorable dignitaries. So those are basically the whitelisted users that are allowed to upload decks. So we don't want to blindly crawl any kind of deck. We just want a curated list of decks.
Yeah.
So we want them to be able to submit decks more conveniently, perhaps by just dropping a message on Telegram or on Discord, some kind of command like yes. Upload and this deck list.
Yeah.
So yeah, deck stats is a good starting point for us, or at least it has helped us so far, with the bootstrap and uploading a lot of decks. But yeah, we want to do something more. We would like also to support MTG Goldfish, other kind of popular other kind of popular platforms.
Yes, I'm laughing because you told last time that MTG Goldfish changed something and you were swearing against like how to API.
Yeah, the problem. So for us, the problem is that a lot of these platforms.
For me,
yeah, the problem for me because Mirko just so yeah.
I'm the one that plays.
Yeah, in case it's not clear, I do the bloody party and he's like the.
I'm the face of the.
Yeah, he's the cool guy. Yeah, and basically he's lame. But yeah, so MTG Goldfish does not provide an API to programmatically interact with the page.
Some community tools and create most in the form of documents, for example, staples. Just share these. Maybe a cool selection of those.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, just get in touch with us, and yeah, we can sort something.
I'm pretty sure we will be able to recognize you on Discord.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have some very peculiar username, as on Twitch. So yeah, so back to MTG Goldfish, we cannot. So first, we cannot programmatically collect information from the MTG Goldfish. we need to scrape them, and we have to also do it in a reasonable way, like not to get banned or hammered or hurt the website in any way.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also the problem with the visibility. So MTG Goldfish is not the best. So from a programmatic point of view, it's not the best platform for us to interact with, but at the same time, it's also very popular. It contains a lot of information. We do not want to miss them all.
Yeah.
So we are working on improving the support for this platform.
Yes.
Yeah, and then as you can imagine, there is going to be a job running in background that periodically checks all the new decks, and if there is something new, the wiki is updated, and these decks will pop up.
Yeah.
Or if a new video is published, the new video will be linked to the archetype page. So maybe I can just, so since we are here, it's probably a good idea to share some ideas about how we plan to collect information from content creators.
Because also one thing, the content creators, we will collect, say, deck lists, and in the end, to generate a staple, like say, like a reference list, we don't really need that much deck list, say, right? So it's like, also one point that we discussed before was like, okay, should we allow to collect like from every user or for content creator? And I think the content creator is not just like, okay, they're more trustworthy, or like, not maybe just it is also because we don't really need that much deck lists per se, because they will probably, like, if you're playing the same archetype, they will not probably be like differ a lot one from each other. So that's like something we said, okay, maybe it doesn't make sense to collect 50 lists that are all the same, basically. And also, as we are collecting from event results, we already have enough data, I think, to write a reference list for each decks. From every user, one thing could be through polls that we will probably make, right?
Sorry, what?
The sideboard guide.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes. Or like the matchup analysis.
Yeah, so it's better. So from our point of view, it's better to have like just 10 Stompy decks, perhaps with some differences in the deck lists, but with a rich collection of videos and sideboard guides, rather than like 300 Stompy decks that they're basically just very similar, but without any sideboard guide. That is.
But I mean, like, if a user wants to share something about, I don't know, like the primer, or like helping writing the sideboard guide and things, that's something that any user can help.
Yeah, of course. Yes. We first want to collect information about the existing archetypes, and then there is going to be like a different next round of
sideboard guide, next round of matchup analysis, and so on and so forth.
One thing at a time. So yeah, back to content creators and how we plan to interact with them, because I think this part will be interesting. So I haven't played yet with Twitch and YouTube APIs, but the idea is it's very simple. So creators will be able to. So the idea is to use comments or any other kind of metadata that is available in the video. So for example, let's take just any YouTube video from a Magic player.
Our beloved.
Ciao ragazzi!
Alright, so for example, if suppose we want to archive this deck in the academy, and and then link this deck to this video, right? So what Heisen 01 could do is to just here in the description, just drop a line, for example, Pauperformance, and then the name of the deck, for example, and then the bot can look at the description, realize that it will find his line that will say that this deck for Pauperformance has to be linked to something,
to some deck that we have in the
In the
In
academy.
the Dexted, yes,
Yes.
first Dexted, and then the academy, of course.
Yeah, but and even if it's not maybe in Dextats,
Yeah,
it will
it
just
will
be
be generated, yes.
or something like this. But yeah, so there is going to be somewhere in the academy Jeskai ephemerate, then the name, the number that corresponds to the set ID. This can be easily computed because we know when this video has
Was
been
published,
published,
yes.
so we can determine which set ID this
Yes.
video corresponds to, and then blah blah blah. And if you open this Jeskai ephemerate page in the archetype the catalog, you will see that this video is going to be connected to that video.
Exactly.
So yeah, the basic idea is to just rely on a very simple kind of tag, and maybe the Pauperformance bot can automatically drop a comment in the section below, in the comment section
Like
below,
your deck is
like saying
saved
archived on Pauperformance at, or on this date.
Yeah.
Something very simple, but everything everything is basically back always to the same naming scheme. So once you can uniquely identify a deck, you can then also very easily link any content online to decks. And these are also for videos, but also resources. So let's take, for example, let's take literally a random Pauper primer. So for example, Stompy. Every primer usually comes with a list. So yeah, for example here. So what the user could do is to just upload this list with a unique name, and then we can link this primer to that unique deck list. So yeah, everything is simple once you can uniquely identify decks, because then you can
sorry, I'm laughing at how the deck is named.
Wall Boys.
Mono Green's Wall Boys Stomp.
But yeah, so the main idea is this one. There is going to be like a lot of things to do. We have plenty of ideas both for the academy and the battlefield, but we just have to go one step at a time.
Exactly.
So we will be happy to see some kind of early engagement.
Yes.
Some kind of feedback from the community. Also to understand if what we are doing is meaningful or interest for somebody. We kind of had already some interactions with the community in the last few weeks. So for example, let me see if I can find this discussion back on Reddit. So I'm gonna just give me a moment.
Is someone dropped by that's saying hi to us?
Oh,
Filippo.
ciao Phil.
Ciao.
Yeah, let me just very quickly look for this thread. So someone asked about, can you tell or can anyone please help me finding all the unique
yes,
types for creatures that are like Pauper specific, right? So that is a thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bubble Bill, for your follow. So that is a very tough question, because there is no easy way to query the Scryfall API
exactly
to get this kind of information, right? But we actually use our Pauperformance bot under the hood to to reply to these. So I will just very quickly drop.
Oh, thanks for following,
guys. Thanks a lot. This really means a lot to us. Also,
yes,
because I think we need to reach.
We think at least 50 to start actually having some tools also for streaming, and also Discord, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Drop by and follow us. Anything helps.
So I'm gonna just very quickly show
this
conversation.
Show that it's really cool. All right. Yes.
More tabs for the joy of our followers. Let's go back here. So let's have a look at this conversation. So it's something I read some weeks ago. Yeah, two weeks ago. So common only creatures. Are there any tribes in Magic that exist only at common?
Exactly.
So how would someone find this out? This is actually a very complicated thing, but the academy can help with this kind of question. So yeah, with the Scryfall API we can actually see, for example, the list of Pauper subtypes. I may have made so I discovered something later. We're gonna see the thread below. But then you can basically query the API to see, for example, the common only subtypes. And these were the subtypes. And here you can see that I only play Pauper, and I'm not an expert of ruling, because I basically probably counted here also non-creature. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was strict. I'm gonna show you what kind of creatures tricked me. It was like these creatures like this gingerbread. So maybe someone in the chat can ciao Antonio can help me. But yeah, so I thought that this is an artifact creature, right? And it's a food golem. So I thought that food and golem were creature subtypes, but maybe so. Do you know if food is also... So if food is just for artifact and golem is just for creature? Because the guy said, here.
That's like, I have no idea. Yes,
gingerbread as the artifact type food and the creature type golem.
Yeah.
But they are distinct. So this is what I was not aware of. In fact, it says that like if a card has all creature types, so for example changelings, it does not grant the subtype food, because this is not a creature type.
But if grants all artifact types, then it's also food.
Yeah, but I didn't know that this food subtype was not a creature type. So yeah, something new. Something new. But yeah, it was all just to say that there are many other interesting analyses that you can do with the tools once you can understand and programmatically reason about the meta. This was just a recent example. It was just a few lines of Python. I think I shared them below. Yeah, so this is my personal profile. Yeah, so this was the relevant part of the script. Nothing crazy. Just it was a cool question. You can you have the tools to reply to this question, so it's nice. So yeah, let's just see if other guys have any other questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions, any points, as I said at the beginning of the stream, but maybe now we are already like an hour and a half almost in. If you have any questions, just type in the chat and we'll be happy to answer.
So it's a split archetype.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a split archetype. There are food artifacts. Exactly. There are food creatures. There are golems.
And food golems. Yeah, the food golems, for example, like the gingerbread that we just saw. And as food artifacts, you have like food token. And food creatures. Food creatures only.
What was the name of the other guy? Parcel meal?
Ruling was made
this was the
yes. Yeah,
I believe a ruling was made specifically for gingerbread. Food is an artifact type, not a creature type. And maybe the same also
with
for clue.
That parcel mirror, that is also
I have the feeling that the same is for mir, because maybe clue.
Yes. So mir, I'm sure, is a creature type.
Yes.
But that could be like the artifact type, because there's no other clue creatures.
But yeah, I was completely clueless about this specific rule.
So bad. Yes, we have to stream in Italian now. We can do this.
We can just stop it. Let's switch to Italian.
Taglia.
Yeah, I was completely clueless about the clue ruling.
Yes. Okay, so
artifact types include eclipse and Vigils.
Eclipse Vigils, for example. Yes.
I see.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
So there is a bug in the code I shared. Sorry for that. Yeah, guys, do you have any other question? Maybe they are shared by other people in the community. This was...
Thank you very much. I almost choked. Thank you.
Oh, we are getting awards from on Reddit, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We know it's gonna be a long journey, but we'll schedule.
yes, that's important.
Yeah,
Yes.
good. So we have been streaming for a while in Italian. We are now trying to stream in English.
I think it's better. At least like more people can interact with us.
Yeah, it's gonna be less fun probably.
I don't know. I think we can just at some point get used to that and just be as idiots as we are usually. Yes.
So we usually played, but it was like a limited preview on Tuesdays, and we are going to update the streaming the Twitch calendar so that you know when we are live. I recommend you to just drop a follow so that you are notified. Yes. But yeah, so it's gonna be Tuesday. We're going to play like a bunch of different decks. We are going to do that in English. Just maybe there is going to be a kind of different schedule for the upcoming week, also because he's coming back to Germany. But we are going to just share updates and keep you posted. But yeah, on average, I mean on like the average week, it's gonna be Tuesday night, and we are streaming from Europe. So yeah, Central Europe time.
So I'm just checking our social medias to see like if we have new stuff. So really, thank you really much.
So for example, another thing that sometimes happens is for players to create archetype specific discords. So sometimes I'm pretty sure there is one for familiars. Maybe there is one for Tortex. I don't know. But yeah, we are going to share these resources as well in the in the archetype page of the wiki.
Yeah. And also, as soon as we have everything's running and our Discord is maybe more populated and chatting and lively, we'll also like improve our Discord in a way in which like our content creators can be shown there when they are going live. We can also have our streaming resharing their streaming like when we are offline, something like that. So we will try to have as much also like material, like stream material as possible.
Yeah, let's have a look at the roadmap. Maybe we can find some ideas to discuss. Yeah, so Pauper newsfeed. Yeah, let's go very quickly through our items. So there is a Pauper manifesto I wrote some years ago. There were some people that were very happy about this manifesto. I also initially gathered a first round of feedback. So another thing we have in our roadmap is to work on is to rework this manifesto with the community. I noticed that some people signed this manifesto in 2019, but yeah, so this is something we want to bring back to the academy. It's gonna be a way to describe us as a community, which is something I think it's really peculiar of our format. I mean, I've always feel we are like a small family.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is this manifesto in our backlog. We are going to go back to this. We're gonna just yeah, I will just I will just drop a comment in case someone is curious. And wants to
maybe you can also share it on our Discord somewhere. So it's also easily available for people that want to.
Yeah, that's gonna be confusing. I think without context.
Okay, then we will add it later.
Yeah, it will come later. Yeah. So we want to have a proper news feed in the homepage. So yeah, basically just
checking articles,
check all the resources and
from like major websites, right?
Yeah.
So like it would be probably like Sausage
not
Game,
necessarily major
Fish.
Not just
okay. So any news,
any proper news that comes from website, maybe different languages. We want to have them,
Yeah, like a newspaper, a proper newspaper. That's cool.
Nicely displayed in the homepage, also because it's empty. So we have a rarely asked question page. We want to improve and share.
That's like
you will be able to.
Half of it's just like bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
A news
Pauper. Thank you. Yes, write it down.
Yeah,
Write it down.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Yes, write it down. This man deserves like some kind of medal of badge. Jump on Discord. We will do something.
We will do something for you. Just right now.
Yes, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now we have our
This is the reason why.
news folder. Yes, please. Thanks.
Bravo. All right. So yeah, like a kind of search engine for decks. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be done, but yes. So there's going to be a page dedicated to PhDs that are again proper honorable dignitaries.
Exactly.
So content creators, people that give back to the community. We have a draft of the document we are going to use to share sideboard guides. So ideally, we would like for each archetype. Oh my God, this guy is so kind.
Yeah, so kind.
He's not Italian.
No, I know. I think I guessed from the previous message. Thank you.
Grazie, Abe. So yeah, ideally the sideboard guide will contain instructions on how to sideboard, like for at least all the major decks.
Yes.
It's really hard to maintain a sideboard guide that covers all the archetypes in the format. Yeah. You have to be like
patience, yeah, a little bit now.
But or you really have to love a deck and just play only that deck.
Yes.
In that case,
maybe you have like a Google like a Google sheet, something like like a PowerPoint, not PowerPoint, sorry, just like a Google Doc or
with all the sideboard guide.
Like all the sideboard, like all data they collected sideboarding. Every cards of your sideboard against.
But are you talking about something specific?
I'm not talking about the black book.
Okay, not that one.
But yeah, we will sure use that.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
You have to really be careful about that. Yes.
Let me see if I can
show that amount of.
Because I think you are talking about this.
Yes, that's crazy. Like that's like one of the. Like that's one of the biggest amount of craziness I have ever seen in my life.
It's not that crazy.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I've played some Mono Black Control in my life for a while, and I mean I could.
You just have 55 fucking pages.
Nah, but
okay, 55 pages. 57. Sorry.
So they could. I mean, when you play a lot the same deck. You have time to do this kind of thing. So this was my sideboard guide.
Why?
So this guy has played against me.
Okay.
In the Amsterdam Pauper series we organized.
Cool. Yeah.
He's a Boros Monarch
player. Nice.
But he likes fringe decks and crazy ideas. So basically you just you can do these kind of things. Ideally. For every kind of deck, so that you may have, for example, a very nice huge spreadsheet, or with the matrix deck, something like this. But we will we'll come to the sideboard guides later.
Yes, we will decide like the form, how it will be made, to allow people to give their idea on sideboard guide, like maybe sharing in our Discord channel. Like I don't know, like there will be like a week for Azorius something. We will like make a poll for all the players that played that deck and asking them how they will like to side against determined matchups. And then we will collect all the data and make like a like a spreadsheet or something. We collect like what's like the most. We can work it out. But collect what's like the most like the common sense in the sideboard for that sideboard or for that matchup, and.
But there are people that just
could be.
I mean, in resources. I don't want to create one. Yeah, the point is that for many decks, there are players that just love the deck. It doesn't matter how weird is that deck. You will find someone that loves this deck.
Absolutely.
And he's the one. So those are the kind of people we are looking for. Players that have, for example, a lot
huge
of
amount of experience.
maybe with the
yes.
deck, even if it's not very popular. Those are the kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
that is the kind of knowledge we want to embed, incorporate in the wiki,
In the wiki, yes.
because those are that is super valuable.
Yes. If you're weird,
If you play with
if you're
decks,
weird,
if you're
welcome
weird,
aboard.
welcome aboard. There's plenty of space for you
For
here.
weird people, yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, design guidelines to index video content. We briefly shared some ideas with you. So it's going to be probably like a comment in the on the YouTube videos. So we want to improve the Pauper pool with visual previews. So not only with information about which cards are now being played in which decks, but also visual previews. So maybe something like mouse over. I'm gonna show you why I don't really like it as it is right now. So if you just drop to, I don't know, this set, you cannot very easily read the effects of this card. So you need to click and you will see.
So maybe like a mouse over preview.
Yeah, or maybe just a dedicated page with just the visual previews.
Yeah.
Something like this. Because the point is that we cannot just easily link to Scryfall because because the query would look like this. I'm gonna just make this experiment with you live. So the set is a PTK, so Portal 3 Kingdoms, Legal Pauper. So in theory, should be this one.
Yes.
So why 79 cards?
Because there are some reprints from older
exactly.
sets.
So some of these cards were not introduced with Portal 3 Kingdoms.
Yeah.
So here those cards are dropped. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it could be a starting point to just link to this page. It's gonna contain more cards than the one listed in the academy, but exactly. it's at least a starting point. Yeah. So for example, you will not see a forest, of course, exactly. Here. But yeah, ideally we would like to have something like this without the cards that are not needed. Maybe we could come up with a super complicated query like minus.
And the cards, yes. Yeah, that's your job.
I'm gonna think about this. Yeah, so back to the roadmap.
Yeah. Okay, support deck import.
Yeah, we would like to be able to support importing decks from other popular MTG websites, as we mentioned earlier. MTG Goldfish, Architect, what else?
Moxfields.
Yeah.
Eterab.
Yeah, all those decks.
Yeah.
We're gonna show for each archetype when staples were introduced, how the deck has evolved over time. Yeah, we're also going to make some additional checks to make sure that the resources are still online. I am actually thinking about also archiving them.
Yeah.
Not sure,
but yeah. Let's see. Add
bunch
flavor for archetypes. Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of stuff going on.
And this is just a partial list because it didn't make sense for us to just drop here
everything and
thousands of cards. We want to make like a small, steady, improvements over the course of the week, while at the same time also having fun, do streams, play some weird decks, or just at least for me, I like. It doesn't matter what kind of deck I play. I just like to play it, optimally. I try to play it as good as I can.
Okay, yeah.
Even if it's not like a competitive deck.
No, but even like a deck that you have fun with, then yes, of course, you will try to play it as good as you can. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. So yeah, maybe just shall we recap? Make a recap?
Shall we make like a short recap about it?
All right. So
welcome to Pauperformance.
We're very excited.
We are very excited to present our project.
I'm trying to bring my colleague Mirko in Amsterdam.
Let's see.
It's gonna be much easier to stream together
at some point, maybe
at some point. You can get updates from us on our Telegram channel,
Discord
on Discord, and on Reddit. We're going to post a bi-weekly changelog.
We will start collecting on Instagram some nice arts. So we will use our Instagram more as a
Easter egg and bonus
Yes, like
content.
yes, like showing maybe some nice uh, digitalized, let's say like
Vectorize.
vectorized MTG arts that you can maybe save, use as wallpaper with some, I don't know, like flavor text and maybe some ints from that set, something maybe like a interesting news, like interesting fact about it. I don't know. Like at the moment we are still like in development for that, but
Yeah.
we will work on it. And of course, on Instagram, it will be shown on stories, like when we are going to be live. So you can either follow us on Instagram, Twitch, of course, Reddit,
Yep.
and see our schedule there. Probably
On Twitch.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, on
And
Twitch.
we are going to archive videos on YouTube.
You are going to archive videos on YouTube, yes. So you will then find all the previous stream on YouTube, and I think we will use YouTube only for that at the moment. But at some point, maybe we will also, I don't know, like update on YouTube, upload on YouTube something like an introductory video for the channel, or something like a deck tech, something like a specific video for maybe some decks, and not doing it live because maybe it could be like hard to do. Like if you want to make some post processing, or like some video work.
Yeah. There are other videos we would like to record. So, for example, there are a lot of cards with very peculiar interaction in Pauper.
Exactly.
New players may not be aware of those interactions, so it would be
Yes.
nice to make like a focus on or like spot on
Yeah.
videos,
Exactly.
just to show how you can take advantage of
Or something
Quirion
like
or...
Muller Pass. We can just have that on Reddit, sorry, on Discord, like sending a screenshot of a hand. Like this is the opening hand. You don't know what the opponent is playing.
Yeah.
You're playing this deck. It's a Mull or it's a pass. Like tell us why. Things like that. Like to have people chatting, have people interacting, and that would be like really, really nice and really cool. Other things. So
Yeah, just follow us on Twitch, because we will be
yes.
live on Tuesday on average.
So
and
Instagram, Discord, Twitch, Reddit sometimes.
Yeah.
On a 2 weekly basis, we will upload on Reddit as update
Yeah.
of the roadmap of our project. So still, like we're still trying to gather even more and more people also
Yeah.
from that environment. We know like the Reddit community is kind of big and it's very active.
Share the news with your communities,
yes, so
with
share
your
the news.
Pauper groups, WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Just let the news
spread.
Yes. Because it's important to gather feedback and support. Even a little contribution can make a difference.
Exactly.
So guys, thanks a lot.
Thank you a lot again
for joining us with the streams. We'll see you soon.
Bella Vaglio.
Ciao Vaglio.
Bye.